When's the last time you typed a website IP address? Like 142.250.74.206 into your browser? Exactly, never. You type names, google.com. But behind the scenes, your computer still needs numbers. Today we're going to lift the hood and watch the invisible machinery that turns name into addresses. The magic of URLs, FQDNs, and DNS. URLs, the map to a resource. A URL, Uniform Resource Locator, is like giving someone direction not just to a building but to the exact room with instruction on how to knock at the door. Let's take a real one. A scheme or protocols. HTTPS. Use secure web browsing, just like choosing whether to send mail by regular post or certified courier. Host FQDN, www.example.com, the human-friendly name of the server. Behind it sits an IP address, but you don't have to memorize it. Port 8443, the custom doorway on the server. Most HTTPS sites default to port 443, so this only shows up if you're using a non-standard one. Path /store/books, like saying third floor bookstore section. It points inside the server's file or application structure. Query extra instructions like bring me the DNS books. Web apps use these parameters to filter or personalize content. Fragment, a shortcut inside the page. In a PDF, it's like skipping directly to chapter 5. URLs lives at the application layer of networking, the part humans actually touch. Computers need numbers, but people need names and directions. FQDNs and TLDs, how names are built. A fully qualified domain name, FQDN, is the complete dotted address of a computer on the internet. Unlike a nickname, it tells you exactly where in the global namespace something lives. .edu, top-level domain, TLD, defines the broad category. .com for commerce, .org for organizations, .gov for government, .edu for schools, and country codes like .uk or .us. A school, domain name registered by an institution under the TLD, like their property lot on the internet. Mail, host name, the specific building or service at the property. Here, the email server, chosen by the site owner or admin. That's why www.school.edu, mail.school.edu, and library.school.edu can all exist under the same domain but point to different servers. Domains are leased, not owned, through registrars operating under ICANN's global coordination that keeps the namespace consistent worldwide. DNS, the Internet's phonebook. Computers don't route to names, they route to IP addresses. So, how do names like www.example.com become addresses? Enter DNS, the domain name system, a global distributed directory. DNS is like asking a well-connected librarian. If they don't know an answer, they point you to someone who does, until you reach the exact shelf with the card you need. DNS has three big pieces. Namespace, the entire collection of names and addresses separate worldwide. Name servers, machines that store and serve a slice of that data. Resolvers, the clients that ask questions on your behalf. DNS uses a distributed database model. There's no single giant server to fail. Data lives on thousands of servers, each authoritative for its own zone, the portion of the namespace an organization controls. How name resolution actually works. Now let's walk through the invisible detective work your computer does when it hears a name like www.example.com. Step 1. Local cache. Your browser and operating system ask, have I seen this before? If yes, instant answer. Step 2. Ask the local DNS resolver. If not cached, the request goes to your configured DNS resolver, often your ISP's or Google's 8.8.8.8. This resolver is like your personal librarian. It promises to fetch the answer, no matter how many other librarians it has to ask. Step 3. Root referral. If your resolver doesn't know, it asks a root name server. There are 13 named root server clusters, unicasted to hundreds of global sites. The root doesn't know www.example.com, but replies, go ask the .com librarians. Step 4. TLD servers. The resolver queries a .com name server. That server says the authoritative librarians for example.com are over there. Step 5. Authoritative answer. The resolver asks the authoritative server, what's the IP for www.example.com? It replies with the exact number, like 198.51.100.42. Step 6. Return and cache. The resolver delivers that IP back to your device and saves it in cache for the TTL, time to live. Next time you type it, the answer is instant. Types of DNS servers and why they matter. Primary, master. The main authoritative server for a zone holds the writable zone file. Secondary, a read-only backup authoritative server that receives update via zone transfer, reduces single points of failure and spread load. Caching, resolver. Contacts other servers to resolver names and caches results. Doesn't hold zone file and doesn't participate in zone transfers. Forwarding. Accepts queries and forwards them elsewhere, often keeping its own cache to speed up repeats. Note: one machine can wear multiple hats, but for security, avoid mixing public authoritative data with an open resolve on the same interface. Resource records, the building blocks. DNS data lives in resource records inside zone files. Here are the common ones you'll meet. SOA, start of authority. Zone metadata, the primary name server, contact email, serial number, refresh or retry timings. NS, name server, which servers are authoritative for this zone or delegated subzones. A/code A, map names to IP version 4 and IP version 6 addresses. CNAME, canonical name. An alias for another name, handy for blog.example.com, www.example.com. A name that's a CNAME can't have other record types at the same node. MX, mail exchanger, where to deliver email with preferences like 1024 failover. PTR, reverse lookups, IP change to name, stored in special reverse zones. IP version 4 uses the .in-addr.arpa3. IPM version 6 use .ip6.arpa. SRV, service discovery, with priority wait port target. TXT, free form text, common uses. SPF, declares which servers may send mail for a domain. DKIM, publishes a public key used to verify that mail was signed by your domain. DNS Server Software, what runs the show. BIND, Berkeley Internet Name Domain. The classic open source workhorse for authoritative and recursive rules on Unix, Linux, Windows. Windows Server DNS integrates tightly with Active Directory. Supports policy and split horizon, also called split brain. DNS serving different answers to internal VC external clients for the same name. Others worth knowing: unbound, validator, recursive, NSD, and Keynote DNS, Power DNS. So, next time you type a name, remember the silent choreography. URLs map what you want, FQDN's name, where it lives, and DNS finds the number to get you there. If this helped demystify the internet's phone book, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which networking topic you want next.